Good morning. Today, continuing the Gresley theme, putting the Royal Train, we've got R3438 Osprey. Okay, we're going to be a bit more adventurous today because Susan's driving instead of me and she's doing the points. So you're going to see it be a little bit more interactive. Now, a point to make with this in the Gresley collection is it has wires going to the tender. So therefore, if you wish to digitalise it, it's just a case of putting the speaker into the tender with the digital chip, and away you go. Now, I'll make this point again. For some reason, the P2 in the Gresley collection does not have wires going to the tender for the speaker and the chip. The only P2 of Cock of the North that has wires going to the tender with the speaker and the chip inside is the TTS version. Getting back to this loco, we've put coal and people in it. And they are superb looking locomotives. I mean, to see this back in the day, this A4 with this finish Osprey would have been superb. And we're just letting it trundle round so you can see exactly how it runs. And next time we're going to take it back out onto the main line. And you're going to see it shooting out the top. So you've seen it going through a variety of points without any issues at all. And of course it looks absolutely superb. And you're going to see it now come back on the inner track and come through and go straight out and around. Now, I did think about using the slave camera, but it's not 4K. And if you're watching this on a YouTube app on the 4K TV, you do lose a lot of the detail, which I believe you do need when you're watching model railways. And here we are. You've probably gathered now, I do like the Royal carriages, and I do. I think they're superb. I know they're old Hornby, but I think they look absolutely superb. And I'll say again, your station platforms have to be correct. If they are not, they will catch the side. One of my favourite shots. And here's a nice panorama for you. And it looks absolutely superb. Right, and here's a slightly different panorama for you. It's just going around the outer track, and it's going to come through and come through on the points crossovers. And here we are, we're showing this going through the station engine yard. And here we are going straight through. And here we are going a little bit slower, just crawling around, and Osprey looks absolutely superb. In my view, it's probably Hornby's best A4. It's a subjective thing, of course it is, but I just think it looks amazing. Okay, what we're going to show you now is this loco going through the different loops. That is a three-way pico point, which is absolutely superb, despite what some of the social media experts will tell you. Just to explain, that's a pico streamline point. They're streamline points. As I say, a three-way point. Now what you're supposed to do is run the train through the middle, but we've used the outer edge, which works for us. And you're going to see the loco now come through on another loop here, which is just straight through. Which I think is a nice piece of track. And then you're going to see it run on the other inner loop. It's going to go through the other inner loop, which is absolutely perfect. And now you're going to see it on the inner loop. Sorry for the language you may have caught there. if the under 5s are watching, just like a football game. Because of all the point changes, Susan was getting a little bit nervous, but we got there in the end. And that's the radius 2 curve, which is awful. If this derails here, I won't be surprised. And it hasn't, it's run it. But you can see the options we've got. But as I say, this was programmed by the by the computer, which is a radius 2 onto a radius 2 onto a radius 2. I wouldn't advise it. Some of my locos will not do it. And as I keep saying, all the computer does is tell you what will fit into a space. Hence why we did the extension here and this bit of track, and you could hear it clunk there. It managed it, but it clunked. It's too tight. So next time round, you want to put it back on the other track, please, on the other inner loop. Hence why we've got this track here, because that is now our inner loop, and this is just used for the sidings, this part here now, but that is now our inner loop. And you can see with your own eyes it runs a lot smoother where the track is a lot wider, and that's easy. There's a total of 68 points on this layout, and you've got to do a lot of changes to make anything happen. To finish off, we've got Osprey running round our fiddle yard loop. And to cap it again, to surmise, Osprey in the Gresley collection does have wires going to the rear tender, which makes it easy to digitalise the locomotive should you wish to. The only one of the 4 locos that does not is the P2 Cock of the North. Heaven knows why. As I've said before, where you've got these long coaches, you need to have your point motors slightly askew of the points. You cannot have the point motors perpendicular with the points, especially when they're curved, going around curves. Also, these coaches, some of them are very long, and you need to make sure that if you've got tunnels or station platforms on curves, that there is a lot of space. A bit like the Mark IV coaches, you really do need the space to run them. I hope you've enjoyed watching this locomotive run, and thank you very much for watching.